Oh, okay, see. First of all, good job at winning this tourney. Was it hard? What would you say about that? The first question I just asked shoot out. Was it hard to win this, or was it like easy going?
Do you want to say, David, or me?
Go ahead.
Uh, at first it was really easy. We played against RMK too, and they actually gave us quite a challenge, even though they claimed that they won that match, and we went to losers bracket. But other than that, yeah, it was really easy.
Yep. Okay, good. Another thing is what I saw is you said you played Polywog the very first time. Now, I can't got sure if I really believe you that, but um, you played Polywog the very first time, but you still somehow had a perfect eye for initiation. So, is that just your game sense, or did you lie at me?
It's my game sense, sir.
I see. So I can assume that you three play in a team for very long now, yeah?
Yes.
Do you guys actually have a five-man team or only a three-man team?
Um, really a three-man team, because I keep having problems with playing 5v5s. I keep crashing, so we had no motivation to play fives that much.
Ah, I
And
see.
threes are a lot shorter.
Yeah, well, okay, this is actually good that they are pure 3v3 teams. I mean, Grimm's Crossing is a great map, and there's actually a lot of fun once you figure out how to play on it. So it's good that people like you are just focusing on that one map. I really like that. So, you just basically in the finals you just stomped both of them like really hard, so hard that they even tried to kick each other. Um, Now that means kinda they are mad in their own team. Like they will scream at each other. If you do mistakes in your team, would you scream at each other as well, or would you say it politely and try to motivate up so it not happen again?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest.
If it's death, I yell at him.
No, I mean like in general. I mean if you have like, I mean in general, if you make a mistake more than once because, for example, yes, the game sense is crashing or the enemy moves you into that mistake. I mean, like, would you rage at each other? Or would you try to get that fixed while the game?
We usually don't rage at each other.
Okay.
We usually try and fix our mistakes.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. um. Okay, good. This is good to hear actually. So, um, you let's be quite honest. That's something I want to know as a really, really. I love Tremble, so let's just ask it straight off. You leveled your first spell. Why? Why did you level your first spell? Why didn't you place holds to regenerate life while being at their base towers?
Um, Instead of getting mounts, you're asking why I didn't level mounts?
Yeah, no. First of all, I ask you why you leveled your first spell, like the swarm, because I never see it getting leveled as well. And the second thing I ask is why you didn't place the mounts as you was sieging the melee Rex towers on bot and on top lane. You like never used them. That's why I was a bit curious about that.
Probably because we kind of knew it was over. We kind of were just at that point. I mean, I've seen him place mounts plenty of times. When we're actually in an intense game, he'll do it a little more. But yeah, we kind of knew it was over. We knew it was over when they picked Soul Stealer and Martyr. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's done.
Yeah,
They're just not good picks for 3v3. But yeah, I mean, we play a lot differently in threes than the natural 5v5 way. You know, you talk about picking mounts first. You know, a lot of people do that, but it's just in 3v3s we play a lot differently because it's a much different game than when you play five. It's a lot more just on the fly. You know, we choose skills differently depending on what the game is like. And I don't know. Speaking for him, I would say the Swarm is really good for early game ganks, and that's probably why I did it because they seem to play aggressive really early game, although it didn't work out very well.
Okay. That actually makes sense. So, what you wanted to state is basically that you say that you have to choose your skills on 3v3 very wisely, because it is a very intense game in the mid game already and in the early game as well. My heart was beating, by the way, as I saw that Monkey King pick, because I knew it was gonna be in rape in early game anyway, and because the 5v5 map always goes endgame, or what do you want to tell me? Because I don't think that I saw any game of the 3 vs 3 map go endgame, except for the finals of last week's tourney, where it actually went 55 minutes, but it was just pure turtling against mega creeps. It was just nothing more. They wasn't able to get.
That's exactly what happens. The thing is, the 3v3 map is a lot faster paced, so you know endgame hits a lot sooner. You know, so like a 30-minute game, you're getting endgame on that map. because it's a lot more gank intensive. It's a lot faster paced. You can farm faster because you're not spending all the time running around the map, not spending as much money on wards, not spending as much money on homecoming stones and stuff. So it's a lot faster paced game. But you hit late game way sooner. So and that's why like 15-minute game you're hitting mid game and that's pretty much over. We have a lot of 15-minute concedes in that game just because it's like okay, it's over because you get a snowball effect and it's just done. But we have some 45-minute games, but you're right. It just turns into turtling at that point, and the one team's got the control, and all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. But every so often, we've had turnarounds where we're down 20 minutes in, and we're down by, have half the ganks the other team does, and then we end up turning it around with a turtle. But it is very rare.
Ah, okay. So do you think that once you lose the situation on the previous map, you actually lose the game, or is it really hard to recover but still possible?
It's possible. I mean, we've done it before, but it's really hard. You have to really look for mistakes or look to pick a roaming hero off or something. But it is really hard to get a comeback on that map because the snowball effect is super hard. So yeah, you really have to look for mistakes. Like we had a game where they base dove us all three. We were actually down the first game we played against them. We were down in the start, and all three of them base dove us, and we just capitalized on that, and that turned the game around for us.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you planning on participating in more of the Zeke tournaments or in tournaments in general? If yes, in big tournaments or only in small ones, since there's not a huge competitive scene about the 3v3 map yet, but still not, there's still not nothing.
I think that we would definitely love to play more 3v3s, and like you said, the scene for 3v3s isn't that big, and it's unfortunate because we all really like the 3v3 maps because of the faster pace. The faster paced Grimm's map just makes it more fun for us. It's more gank intensive and it's much less play farm the carry. It's it's a lot more for us. It seems a lot more team coordinated and stuff. I don't know. If there was more 3v3 tourneys, we would definitely love to play them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure since I'm casting for Zeke, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make more of this. So just stay tuned on the site. It would be perfect if we have you like you being the most valuable player of those tournaments. Like you three, the most valuable team we have. Then it might attract some other people and you get the scene running. I mean, you don't get a competitive scene running by just trying to start it. You have to get some people who actually are like favorites, like people who have fans, people who say, "Oh God, I want to be as good as them." And I'm pretty sure once we get big,
So focused on the 5v5.
Some people don't like that you can't stack a creep pole.
you can't
Yeah,
stack
well-
creep pulls in 3v3.
Nope.
Didn't
No,
you?
not on the Grimm's map. You can on the Darkwood, but not
Darkwood
on
is a
Grimm's.
4v4. By the
Yeah.
way, and nobody plays it, so it's used
Yeah,
to
nobody plays it anymore. But we used to play it back before Grimm's came out. We used to play it all the time.
Yeah, the map is actually quite nice. I play it sometimes with some friends in 2v2 situations because I think it's the best 2v2 map.
Yes, definitely. Me and Avek used the 2v2 for a long time, ever since beta, and then we met Death not too long after, or during after the game was officially released, and then we started doing the 3.
The problem is basically Hon is not like the biggest game. Like the problem is, I mean, fairly obvious. I don't like to admit that, but like we have a lot of concurrency here. We have League of Legends, who's just big because of kitties, and Dota 2 is coming out soon. So we can't just get a high-level competitive scene at the 3v3 running by just waiting for it because we don't have the people for that. So we have to start it somehow, I guess.
Yeah,
And
take initiative and get it going.
exactly.
Yeah, actually, League of Legends is big just because it's so noob friendly. I mean, so many people like to play it because it's so easy to get into and be good at,
Yeah, but
Right, but Han's a lot harder to
we
get
can,
into.
we can
and be
really
decent
discuss
at.
about that being easy to reach a skill cap. We can talk about that really for Harvest because let's be quite honest. I played 2 years of League of Legends for SK Gaming now, and I was I was the last remake with that, so I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna say that it's easy to hit a skill cap in that game, but I'm not gonna say it's a hard game.
I'm
I
saying
mean,
it's easier to get into.
exactly,
That's all
because
I'm
you don't
saying.
have to deny, you can't, I mean, like, if you check the maps, League of Legends map is like, let's say, just a field without anything, and if you compare that to Forest of Kelda, you have literally, yeah, you have literally a rainforest, because you can do everything. You can juke here, you can destroy a tree, can't do this in League of Legends, it's way more easier.
Yeah.
And that actually makes the game also pretty narrow spreaded, because as you can imagine, once you have a good map vision, yeah, ganking can be pretty hard at a game where you can't juke or destroy trees. But let's just
Yeah,
not talk
definitely.
about that, because I guess that's not our topic.
Yeah.
But the League of Legends is actually the prime example for what I said, because the 3 versus 3 map in League of Legends, which is actually quite good as well. The game is so big and it got like 100 teams, so they just decided to throw in a DreamHack bracket for next year for it. That encourages player, but the thing is, S2 games can't do this because we simply doesn't have enough players to just stumble out of the nowhere, enough teams to compete for a lot of money on a map which is rarely played. I mean, it's already taking
Yeah.
10 minutes to find a Grimm's Crossing game if you are alone. So,
Yeah, it's been getting better. I mean, the matchmaking system seems to be getting better. It seems to be getting like there's a bit more people. We've been finding games a lot faster now than we used to. I mean, 3 months ago or so, we used to have to wait 30, 45 minutes, and we'd
We
be
couldn't
lucky
even
to get a game.
play 3 months
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
In the 1700 bracket, 1700, 1800 bracket in MMR, there was like no options. You'd get a team that you get to play maybe once a week, and we'd sit there on matchmaking for 45 minutes trying to get a game and just not get one. But now we seem to be getting games that very regularly. Sometimes it does take 10 or 15 minutes, but usually it takes 5 minutes. So it seems like there's a little more motion behind it, a little more of a
I
fan
wouldn't
base in
say
it.
it's directly the motion. Let's say I blame the matchmaking rework for that. I mean, what means blame? The MMR is so compressed that 1400, 1600 lies so deep behind right now that,
Yeah.
and we all know that to the drop, people who are not supposed to be in a high bracket are not in a high bracket anymore. They're not gonna get there. They can't get
Yeah,
dragged into that anymore.
definitely.
And those people are usually the people who enjoy 3 vs 3 map because they like to play the game for the fun, not for, oh, I'm the best and I gotta fuck you all fucking retards. And this goes up to 1800, and 1900 is shit in bracket again, but 2000 is the bracket where people just don't care if somebody trolls.
Yeah, you're definitely true. The compression changed the skill sets. There's a lot of people. I mean, you'll just find people that just shouldn't be in the 1600 bracket that are, and it's kind of unfortunate.
Or 17s.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, I got compressed down to 1610 from 1750, and it's like, okay, now I'm in a completely different skill bracket.
Yeah, well, I was one, as I said, I'm a League of Legends player actually, so I'm not really that into Hunt. I wasn't that into Hunt 6 months ago as I started. And I was like, oh well, yes, 1600, how did I did that? I mean, lol, I have a KD of 0.202, how did I made this? So I dropped down to 1200 and somehow came back again to 1800, but well. Yes, people just, in the old matchmaking, people just didn't belong into the bracket they were, most likely. It's just, if you lose a game, you didn't deserve to lose. You lost so much that you already had to win 2 more games to get back into there. That if you win a game you didn't deserve to win, you win so much that you have to lose to get back where you do belong. And now it's just, you
Yeah.
lose a game, okay, you lose 2 points. You win a game, okay, you win 2 points. And if you are really good, the game sees that and gives you more points and let you lose less points. But if you're not that good, then it stays with that. And you will be there grinding games till you get better, or good enough till the game actually realizes that you don't belong in here. Or you realize you're too bad for this bracket, depending. I really like that.
Yeah, it seems pretty good now. You're right. It definitely used to be like where, like you say, you get one bad teammate and you lose a game, and it's not your fault. You lost the game, and there you go. You're knocked down into a lower bracket, and then you have bad teammates all day long. There's so many stories of people that get knocked down into 1400s and they don't belong there. 1600 skill level players that get knocked down into 1400 and can't get out just because they always get bad teammates.
Second, in Honest, it's much easier to escape the hell by winning a game literally solo, which is possible with some heroes, compared to League of Legends, where there is really the elo hell. It's below 1400 rating. You can't win alone. You can't win in the game alone since you don't lose money if you die, and you don't get that much experience that it would matter. And you get mates who are permanently playing like the worst retards ever, playing 0-20-0, literally, and somehow they still win. And then they say, GG too easy. You know?
Yep.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly how that is.
and now it comes. The problem is you get those retards, but the problem is you get 4 of them. And you can't win go solo, so you're gonna stick to that. So you have to find a mate, since they enabled that you can play with a mate in solo queue. so you can play with 2 in solo queue because we have solo queue and pre-mate queue. Pre-mate is 5-man team and solo is 1 or 2 men. They enabled that, and now it's fairly more easy to get out of there, but still fucking hard. I mean, like, you get kiddies, if he goes for solo matchmaking, you know what I mean. Oh, you have a KD of 0.7, I'm not gonna let you mid picks instantly. Silt Stealer and Griefs you the whole game, screams at you for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
you get that
they
every
don't
game.
want them pick your carry.
Yeah, you get that every game. You have to support if you're the lowest elo, but you know, oh wow, 1100 elo, I'm not gonna support in here. And everybody calls you a troll and you get banned for a day because you wanted to win the game. And you're not gonna trust a 1000 carry to win the game for you because they usually don't even know how to last hit in a game where last hitting is actually easy by just right clicking and wait. I mean, come on. This is not a Hon. I'm pretty glad actually because I like Hon a lot more than League of Legends lately.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, League of Legends is much easier to get into. I don't really know about the top end skill level of League of Legends. We never played League of Legends that much, but it definitely is easier to get into. But once you get into Han, it just seems silly to not have the denies and stuff. And there's just so many game mechanics that are missing from League of Legends that just makes me, not really like to play it. And it just sort of waters the game down.
This is so true actually. I stopped playing League of Legends for a month. I played a really hard month, like 6 games a day at least, even if I didn't have time for study shit or something. I was like coming back to League of Legends and I told you, what the fuck is this shit? Why is my lane always pushed? Oh wait, I can't deny anymore. I get it. Now this is why my lane is always pushed. Ah.
Yep. And it waters the game down. I mean, they did a really good job at making a mass game. They did a great job at making a very easy game to get into, a very fun game.
And actually with a pretty high skill cap. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure there's really good players at the top level, and I'm not denying that at all because I've never been up there, so I couldn't say.
What the problem is, you can't say a good League of Legends player can play Hon good, but you can say a good Hon player can League of Legends good. The problem is, if you play Hon, you learn that deny. You can easily just be lazy and don't do that in Hon as well. Doesn't really help you if you want to get high, but let's say you're a 2000 MNR Hon gamer, you will definitely be very fucking good at League of Legends because you simply.
Exactly.
But if you play League of Legends, you will have a hard time. My first 5 games was rage quits. I have to admit that. The first 5 games I played at Hon, I rage quitted them.
You have to learn.
Yeah, but
everybody has to learn.
Yeah, but if you are level 4 after 25 minutes and the rest of your team is level 11 and you're still losing to a level 70 dead, but then you're so far behind you just can't siege another game. It was a no stat anyway. You can just leave and search another one and try to get better this time.
Yep, exactly. I mean, everybody's got to go through the learning phase, and I think that Han did a good job with their new tutorial and stuff, and I don't think that people take enough advantage of that.
I have to admit, I don't like the tutorial at all. It's first of all very, very buggy, and then the learning curve.
Is it?
It is because there's a bug which is still there since beta and will never go and never perish. Once you finish the item bull tutorial, how to buy an item, how to find your shelf in the shop. First of all, the tutorial still uses the old shop, so that doesn't really help you today. And second of all, after that tutorial, the tutorial most likely crashes and not gonna continue. The script is not running correctly. They have to fix that. They have a great.
Wow, last time I played it, that wasn't like that. Yeah. But interesting.
Yeah, well,
I mean, for a while they didn't have a tutorial at all, and it's like, how are you gonna even know how to play the game without having a tutorial?
Well, there was the time where actually most people from Dota came over, and so it wasn't really hard to learn the game. It's just all noobs below 1100 and learn from themselves, and the pros play 2000 and stomp each other, and epic videos are made, and yeah, noobs never get that high. It's wide. It's not that narrow today anymore. This game is not Dota anymore. It's not anymore.
No, it's definitely not.
It changed a lot.
All the S2 heroes that they released have really changed the game.
Yes, and actually it somehow changed the meta as well. I mean, we don't try lane anymore, for example. We don't, because simple as it is, we figured out with heroes S2 released, and I'm pretty glad about that. I really don't want to play a second game with tri lanes. We can't just do that, because they released so many new heroes or so many ganking heroes that they would just utterly destroy my supports that I can't farm anymore.
Exactly. You can't solo lane against 3 heroes, especially if you have 3 good stuns. You're just gonna get ganked all day. You won't even be able to go out on lane.
Exactly, but the tri lane actually knows themselves. Oh wait, never mind. Look at this in mid here. It's actually Midas and he's level 7 now. We can go back and just wait the next 20 minutes because we're gonna lose this, since he is always one-shotting us all with one combo.
Yeah. That's something that I find really unfortunate with, and that's actually why I don't like playing fives personally, is because it seems so much of farm the carry. Everybody worry about supporting the mid hero, and it's just, to me, that's just boring. I don't want to play support all day long. And in 3v3 everybody can carry. we do have a support, but I mean, even the support gets a lot more kills. The support gets a lot more of a chance to farm and such. So it's much less of just okay, let's make sure this one guy gets farmed and carries the team.
Yeah, well, this is basically it's 3 versus 3. I can imagine it's always been like this in maps where it goes very fast to the end. It's like the same in casual mode basically. It's not about the hero you play or the farm you have. It's about the impact you make. And since you cannot make an impact which actually defeats 5 people so utterly strong that you wait. Well, never mind. There's one person who is actually doing that for 71 games in a row without losing a single one, which is way too monkey now. But nobody except him can do that. Having such such a threat from early to late game, and especially late game, you just realize that even if you pick Soulsy and you picked imperfectly, enemy Flint got more farm than you. He's gonna beat you. It's his end game. It's not your time anymore. And
Exactly.
the problem is it's really hard to finish Forest of Calderon nowadays before this phase starts commencing, since we kinda gone back to the beta meta game with Edition Jungle, if you understand what I mean. We kinda gone back to that Cold War farming, and I really like that, well said. I have an interview about that somewhere on my YouTube account, where I said I want that back because I love to play carries. Carries are my main role, basically. And we still have a ganker, we still have a forest. I love that, like, I really like that. It's a bit like League of Legends, just the meta, I mean, yet no, not the game.
Yeah,
And I really like that.
I got you.
Um, and this is why just like the current meta on the 5v5s, I just really like it. That's it. But it's like, if you don't like the meta, in Hornet has a way bigger impact to actually follow the meta than on LoL, for example. And if you don't follow the meta here, then you're most likely gonna lose. That's it. And this makes it a bit narrow spreaded, but also a bit wide spreaded, if you ask me, because you can still go tri-lanes if you want to. If you want to counter the enemy first, they go tri-lane, doesn't matter. You can still do that. That is why I really prefer Hornet mode, because it got a very high variety, while the heroes are basically more easier designed, and there's no ability power. For example, League of Legends, you can get every nuke stronger. That makes the game wide. That
Yeah,
makes the
yeah.
game very wide, because... Or is there a different reason you banned her?
Also, Valkyrie's a really versatile hero in general. With her leap, she's got really good escape mechanisms, so she's hard to gank. She puts out a lot of damage with her Call of the Valkyrie, and yes, her javelin is a really good stun, really good for initiating, just really good in general. So yeah, we always try and pick heroes with good stuns, and I mean that's just what will win you the game. I mean, because as you've seen, good nukes and good stuns win your game. If you can stun lock somebody down before they can do anything, that's it. They can't do anything,
Yeah, of course. Makes sense, because this is the real reason of stunning somebody. Um... And you still somehow picked a semi-carry in your team, which was Tremble. You picked Tremble, but surely for the ultimate, not for the ability to semi-carry, right? Because you got so tanky, I mean, like, nobody was able to kill you anymore.
I
No.
picked Trouble because of the physical damage that goes to Jeremiah's magic immunity.
Ah.
Yeah, and he's not a semi carry in the threes map. In the threes map, he's a
Oh,
full
yeah,
carry.
well, he's
He
still a
will.
carry on his Forest of Galdewa though, but it really depends on how you get it farmed, and if you... The problem is, Tremble is a carry if you have the GPM to have it. Otherwise, he's just a semi-carry, because he can just tank and do some damage, but that's it. He can...
Well, in threes, he's you get helm and boots on him in threes, and it's pretty much over. I mean, he's a really strong hero. Just his auto attack in general is really
Yeah, and-
strong. So he's a really good hero
Yeah,
to play
and
in
do
threes.
the amount
Just because
of...
I mean, you can't
That's
focus
true
him
actually,
down.
because if you focus him down, you're stupid. The other 2 guys will kill you, because he got so much health points. And
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And with not having 5 heroes, when you only have 3, it's much harder to just quickly gank
True.
a hero, especially a tanky hero like that.
true. Oh, about one thing which actually keeps bothering me. I know that map control on 3 vs 3 map is more important than anything else because of the runes. It's just one rune spawn you have to fight about every 2 minutes against, and it can change a game obviously, because you can't just focus on it down with a double damage rune like you can in 5 vs 5. How about the neutral creep spawns? Are they game changing if you farm them, or do you don't need to farm them to win the game?
That depends on who you're playing against. If we're playing against like a Zephyr, for example, or a Legionnaire, a really good quick farmer, we definitely need to control the jungle. If we're playing against heroes that aren't very good farmers, aren't very good jungle farmers, then it's not as big of a deal. I mean, it really just depends on who
I
you're
mean,
playing
I don't.
against.
I mean, I don't
Whenever
mean to.
we play against a Zephyr,
I don't
we
mean
don't
to
let him farm.
control the jungle. I mean, like, farming it yourself? I mean, do you need if it's a stalemate and you start farming the jungle, will your team actually rise out of the stalemate with a win, or would it actually just disable you because you lose lane money or experience?
Well, that's
It.
exactly what we do. Is go ahead.
I was gonna say it depends what they're doing.
Yeah, for example, when they
Basically,
turtle, we farm. What we'll do is we'll keep like 2 heroes to push, and we'll farm on the side, but close enough to support our heroes. So but yeah, definitely the extra experience, the extra gold will definitely change the game. If getting that little lead on them will definitely help.
Okay. So,
yeah, it depends if they're turtling. If they're turtling, then we jungle a lot. If they're not, like if they're pushing or whatever,
We gank.
it's simple. We gank. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're open, we gank. That's as simple as that. That map is so focused around ganking.
what I saw, but what I didn't saw, better said like this, there was the creeps in the jungle obviously are a lot of yellow and orange, and not a single red, for example. They're really easy camps. Because why would you focus on hard
Yep.
camps on a map like this? Really, that doesn't make sense. Did you actually use your Shredder to farm the easy camps? Because we all know that Shredder can actually do that with ease, like really easy.
I did it like twice.
That he,
I didn't
Yeah.
really do it that much. I mainly use Shutter for the
Oh.
team.
The holds. Sometimes, depending on it's so situational that depending on the games, a lot of times you will use Shutter to farm. If you need to get the farm, you're not farming well, or you don't have a good lead, you want to get the Shutter farm. But yeah, if you're winning, I mean, like we were ahead, so we're just using ganks. As soon as you get ahead, you just want to focus on the ganks and keeping them
yeah,
down.
that makes sense.
There's no point to farm if you're ganking nonstop. There's no point to stop and farm. You just want to use
Exactly.
the Shutter to run in and get the hold off and get the gank.
Exactly.
And they were giving us plenty of gank opportunities, so there's no point to send Shutter off to farm when we can use them to gank.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, if they're turtling or something, there's plenty of times where if it's the opportunity arises or it's needed, send Shutter off to farm.
So, if I listen to you, it's like you're really a not professional, but you know what you're doing on this previous stream map. Are there any teams in the current pool, or any guys you know, who actually still beats you at that map? I mean, not like some random public stars like Moonman. I don't talk about those. I talk about a real 3 vs 3 team, not just pub stars which pawns everyone at all.
Occasionally we'll lose a game, but it usually just comes down to the fact that we're not picking top tier picks just because we're having fun. We lost a game last night, for example, where they just picked a really strong team and all picked. But when it comes to band draft, we almost never lose, and everybody loses sometimes. Of course, you can't win them all. But I mean, I would go as far to say that we are definitely one of the top 3v3 teams. But I'd put my money on playing against anybody out there that wants to play 3v3s against us in a band draft situation.
You say band draft. Like band draft is not a mode you really play at a really high level. What about banning pick? What do you say about banning pick in 3 vs 3, which doesn't actually make sense because band draft is actually somehow made for 3 vs 3. But what do you say about ban pick? Is it the same, or is it just a bit like all pick?
The problem with band pick is, in the 3v3 setting, you have a lot less heroes that are being picked, and you can get the combos. The reason why I don't like having just all the heroes is because people will just say, okay, well I want to, we'll just make this combo good, like Death always says, the wombo combo of the 3 heroes that are just really, have really good synergy. And when you're picking band draft, you can't just get your wombo combo and just have you pick your same 3 heroes every time or whatever. So it really forces you to play much more widespread of heroes, makes you have to sort of think on the fly a lot more, think, okay, well, what do we want to counter this with, or what do we want to do this with? So I think it's a lot more skill-based because you can't really just pick whatever 3 heroes you want. You have to pick, a good team. You have to find out a good team on the fly instead of thinking ahead of time, oh, well, we'll just pick this
That
wombo
makes sense,
combo.
actually. That makes quite a lot of sense. So, about the Wombo combo and top tier heroes, which heroes would you say are in God mode tier, like real God mode in 3 vs 3, like the strongest heroes in 3 vs 3,
Sure.
and which would you say were the worst heroes you could ever imagine to actually pick?
Thunderbringer is definitely
Thunderbringer is one of the worst.
Thunderbringer is one of the worst. Soul Stealer is one of the worst. So some of the worst. Some of the best would be like Nomad. Meraxis is a really good hero. Good heroes.
Torture.
Tremble's obviously a really good hero. Torture is a very good pick.
What about Monkey King?
What else
Is
am
he
I
a
missing?
god mode
Let me-
tier?
Monkey. Oh yeah. Monkey King's great.
Zephyr
Monkey
is unbeatable.
Zephyr.
Oh,
Yeah, Zephyr's
Rhapsody.
ridiculous.
Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr's
pretty much
already-
unbeatable.
It's,
Rhapsody's a really good
I've
support.
I
Myrmidon.
farmed Zephyr is already a pain in the ass in 5-man mode, but wow, I can't imagine killing him in 3-man mode. Never. That does not gonna work.
Oh, he's
You can't.
ridiculous.
It's because you
It's
can't.
you can't.
Yeah, he's absolutely ridiculous. No, we every time I play Zephyr, we just win. Even if we get like we're down 0-5, you know, with his jungle farming ability. Once he gets his helm,
Black and I
ridiculous.
played a game earlier today or yesterday where his courier got sniped and he lost his health tube, and we were down in kills and we still won because we had Zephyr.
Yeah, we were down. Yeah, I was playing Zephyr. We were like 0-6 or something. 0-5, 0-6. I lost the courier, and the guy killed the courier and killed my health and destroyed my health tube. And I rushed I got my health tube as my first item. So you know, I spent 875 gold and lost my first item, and we still came back and won. Just because Zephyr's
About that,
ridiculous.
I saw a lot of juking going on. Juking being very, very important in this map, obviously, to escape the ganks if you are not having the best escape mechanisms. Two characters keep falling in my mind, which can fall on the ganky category too. Which I would know which tier you would give them, which is Bloodhunter and Emerald Warden. I want to know this because I know Bloodhunter can be a pain in the ass, and I know Emerald
Oh,
Warden
yeah.
has true sight.
Yeah, both of those are good. I would say Bloodhunter in the threes map is a pretty close to top tier pick, but he's not a top tier pick. But Emerald
Why
Warden
wouldn't you
is definitely a
consider?
top tier pick.
Yes,
DW is
I mean
ridiculous.
it's map wide. If you stand in the middle, you basically hit every lane with your wolves. That's ridiculous, I know. But I
Yeah,
talk about
it is
Bloodhunter
pretty
now
nuts.
because I like Bloodhunter, but we all know he is not a really good pick on 5 vs 5 now. You didn't say he is not quite top tier, but he's close to be, fucking close to be.
He's a good pick, and I think it really depends on who you play with him. You know, we've seen a lot of Bloodhunters that just get stomped out because they don't have good synergy with their teammates. But yeah, he's definitely a good pick. You just have to you have to have a good team with him, I think. But there's definitely better picks. That's really the only
Okay,
reason why
good.
I'd say
Because
that.
okay, good. That makes sense because I was noting Bloodhunter doesn't have this hard CC, for example, Valkyrie got. He got a silence, which is kind of strong though, but also has a pretty big downside, which is
Yeah.
the 80% attack buff. He can't see every enemy. He's faster, and his movement speed, movement cripple is just with 50-second cooldown. I mean, very strong in ganking. Now, I know that he can't synergy with everyone. That's why I wanted to know how Bloodhunter plays on this map, since I like to play Bloodseeker or Bloodhunter, whatever you want to call him, quite a lot. He is a good hero, and I really liked his mechanics, and I thought it's like his playground, you know? I really thought Rift Crossing can be his playground, where you just will have fun.
Yeah. Like he's a good hero. The only thing is if you're playing against a really good coordinated team that has good CCs, you know, he only has a single silence. He can just get locked down. You know, he's chasing down a hero, and we always, you know, our coordination is always pretty good. That we're coming in and saving each other when we're getting jumped and stuff. You know, you can't always save everybody, and that's the thing about Bloodhunter is, you know, he has to chase a lot. He can just get
He has
interrupted.
to overcommit. And the towers are very, very close together on that map.
Yeah,
And if he overcommits into towers, like if he ults you and you're on lane, the tower's pretty much a couple steps away, and it won't be enough to kill you. And your teammate's gonna be pretty much right there anyways.
Yeah, especially with how small the map is. You know, you'll get team support really quickly, and you have somebody with a good stun. It's just going to come in, stun Bloodhunter, and then they'll just get some damage on him, and the other hero will get away. The hero that Bloodhunter's trying to gank, but he can be a good hero.
You have to
I'd
build a
say.
team around him, obviously. And Emerald Warden is a top tier pick because of the true side or the wolves.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Just
And the
all in general.
overgrowths. Overgrowths are really good
Yep.
in that map.
Yeah,
And
putting him
stuff.
at the portals, putting him at the runes, putting him in the forest.
Yo,
Putting them
definitely.
in juke spots.
They
Yeah.
can make really good like traps and
And of
lifesavers.
course his range was higher than Flip Beastwood's
Yeah.
range at level 1. Even if he skills his E as first. Still having more range than Flip Beastwood with skilling his E first. That's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
625.
Flip Beastwood
Flip
I don't have
Beastwood-
to talk about Flip Beastwood, I guess.
I don't know.
I could imagine Flip Beastwood with Hellflower would be quite funny because of the mana regeneration and your LOL ulti every 20 seconds, but come on, you're not gonna get level 16 in time to make a use of that, so...
Yeah, Clint Eastwood's just not that great of a pick. He doesn't have any escape mechanisms, and he's kind of slow. Doesn't have any escape mechanisms.
He's
So
basically a sitting duck against
yeah,
strong gankers
exactly.
like Fade or Valkyrie.
But on the other
Pestilence,
There are a
hand,
lot of
Rampage.
better
he
picks.
can be a sitting duck since his range is so ridiculously high that he can shoot 75% of the lane in because the lanes are really, really narrow.
But
The
no one
thing
gets
is,
that
Well, I do.
skill early on.
Let's be completely
In
honest. I do
five
this in
not
in
only
Stoga,
that,
and I kind of
3v3s.
would think it's working, since I don't like the flare and I don't like the mini stun without items because it's an endgame skill. So yes.
it's not just that. It's the fact that since you can get with the portals on the map, you can get behind a hero like that really easy. If he's pushed up on lane, you can just come out. You pick a hero like Pestilence, for example, go through the portal, fly it behind him, stun him, he's dead. You pick a hero like Rampage, he's gonna charge him, come out of nowhere, grab him, ulti him back. There's so many, and especially in the woods, you can hide really easily. So he comes out a little bit, and if you pick a hero like Panda, for example, you can just come out and stun on lane. There's a lot of heroes that'll just disable him right away, and he's an easy jump. That's all it really comes down to. Where you compare him to somebody like Valkyrie, you try and jump Valkyrie, she leaps away. Or Myrmidon, for example, Myrmidon will leap away. A lot of heroes with leap seem to be really
Yeah,
good
well,
on
okay, I
this
guess
map.
it's kind of about mobility in this map anyway. That's why I think, oh god, if the... that's why I was saying in the stream
Definitely.
live to my 8 viewers I had, 8 viewers without making advertisement, at least something, anyways. I was like, oh, if... I know 100% if AMK gonna pick Pharaoh, the counter pick to Pharaoh will be Dr. Repulsor, and it was the counter pick to him. Simple as it is, because Dr. Repulsor on this map can just with level 6 already jump into the enemy fountain and swim in it. And die.
Yeah, yeah. Doctor Repulsor is a pretty good pick because of, like you said, because of the mobility. Mobility is huge on this map. Just because you can get behind people so
Now, I
quickly.
want to ask you all right off the bat, everyone with his own opinion, except if you have the same opinion, what will be the absolute overkilling wombo combo in this map?
That's tough to say. Hmm. I don't know.
Might as well throw a Dirtwood in there.
Deadwood, Pyromancer, Witch Slayer.
Holy shit, yes,
Yeah.
that would be that
Yeah,
would be
that
so
would probably do a
overkill.
pretty good-
And especially if that would get somehow a bit farm and can get up some physical damage running. Oh wow.
What was that combo we played? It was Midas, Hammer
Holy
Storm, and
shit.
Myrmidon, right?
Yeah.
That was a really nasty combo. that
Super
we had to
wombo
play against.
combo.
Yeah, that was a dirty combo.
Also, Gladiator, Nymphora, and Valkyrie is really strung together.
Oh, by the way, this is what I now want to know. Did you ever try to have a foresting hero and 2 solo lanes? Like an early game gank forest hero, not a keeper of the forest, like just something like a Tempest, for example.
Yeah, it never
tried
seems
it.
to work out that well. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, I don't know exactly what it is. I think what really happens is the 2v1 lane bottom just sort of usually gets
I think-
overwhelmed.
The map's too small.
That
In my
too.
opinion.
It's really easy to find a guy who's jungling. In this map, what we do is if somebody's jungling, we have two solo lanes and the other team's jungling, we'll hunt them out. We'll drop some wards mid, and we'll see him going somewhere, and we'll just jump him out because he's really easy to get to. And also, not having the red creeps or the red neutral camp makes it a lot worse. You can't farm as good in this map. Just because there's not as many neutral camps,
Yeah, but
you can't get as much
not
gold
a
farming.
forester,
So you just can't,
a jungler to get the gold. I mean, a jungler to have 2 solo lanes for the experience, or maybe a Tempest for the ultimate. You know what I mean? That was just an example. That you don't farm good, that's what I know.
Yeah, but Tempest will end up
But
being
wait,
underleveled.
wait a minute.
That's the
I
problem.
don't get how you mean
Tempest
that
will be
because look,
underleveled.
if I Tempest Forest, then I can't stack because we all know Tempest can't stack at the low levels. And if I am unlucky with creep spots, I'm getting underleveled because I can't kill the creeps because the orange creeps are overwhelming me. So there are no orange camps on the 3v3 map, so I can just clean the camps like nothing. So how can I get underleveled if I just need 2 yellow camps for a level up on level 1? If I can get them in less than a minute, which usually takes 2 minutes on a Forest of Kelder map if you are unlucky with creep spots.
You know, you make a good point, but for whatever reason, every time we played against a jungler and every time we play with a jungler, they can never just seem to level as fast because you know your jungler is probably going to be your support, so you're going to have to be warding and like I said, we always end up hunting him out. We don't just let him free farm. It's not like he's in the jungle just getting to do whatever the hell he wants. You know, we get level 3 and we come out and yeah, he maybe leveled with us at that point. But then we come in, we jump him, and then he's falling behind at that point. And when you're having a roamer, you're just putting yourself out there to get jumped because you're having 3 different heroes running around the map separately. You know, it's real easy to 2v1 somebody. It's real easy for everybody to go towards the rune. He's going to the rune. Three guys jump the jungler. So it's just really easy since the map is so small, and with the portal, you know, if he's jungling those orange neutrals, you just hop through the portal. You're right on top of them. So you just don't. It never really works out very well. And
whenever we try it, we usually lose, and whenever we play against it, we usually win.
Yep, exactly.
So...
It's just always never seemed to work out very well. So we just stopped doing it. We thought that we actually at one point were like, oh, we should do that, you know, and it never worked out. We did it a couple times and it just didn't work.
Well, this is one thing on the 3 vs 3 map which is heavily different, like in League of Legends. Now, let's bring that up again. League of Legends, you will always have 2 junglers competing against each other for the farm in the jungle with the following reason. The creep camps give so damn much experience, and it's so important to have the dragon control, because the dragon gives you 400 gold for everyone in the team and the buff, which can't be any stronger. So you don't have that in Horn.
Yep.
And you don't have that in Horn, and you don't have to compare about a farm because you can easily get ranked. There's no teleport in here's League of Legends, and you get underleveled because the creep games in League of Legends are so easy to clear up in some patches because they changed it. But the XP you get for them are so ridiculous. I mean, like, you kill a creep game, you're level 2.5. Wow, nice. And to take about 20 seconds for that, that's ridiculous. I mean,
yeah,
that's why the whole meta game of 3 vs 3 is kinda about dualisting. Like, every character must be a pretty good duelist to stay in that map and have an escape or be pretty mobile. That's...
Yeah, I noticed that too. The jungling in the League of Legends seemed to work out really well.
They kinda made it that way. The jungle is spelled that way that you can jungle it so easy with about every hero in the game. Nowadays, for example, since they patched it about 2 months ago, you can literally, if you would compare that, you could go, you could definitely go Rhapsody jungle and you would still not be underleveled. You can't do that in Horn. As for example, that was a comparison. We don't have a Rhapsody. We have a Rhapsody. She's called Sona, and she's basically the same hero, just with a different skill set. But yeah, you can do that easily. So yeah, it's ridiculous that you need to have a jungler in order to have a good team. That's, well, so you have to get used to that.
Yeah, it's definitely different, that's for sure. Is Death still there? Did Death go?
Nah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't say anything, so let's ask him out. I have no idea what to ask him, really.
Ask him why it's such a female.
No, I want to ask something different, which is maybe pretty important.
Ask support.
Yeah, but it's a support-related question. Look, I realized that as I play Polywog Priest, you was giving your team a hard time because you actually started feeding, and it was really hard for them to actually still win the game. So, how do you justify yourself getting in such bad position that you actually die twice? I mean, why don't you just die twice? Why? Can you justify that, or was it just a mistake?
It was honestly mistakes. I really messed up. They'll never let this go.
And you know what? In the support always ends up getting ganked more. So, like, because it's playing a hero like Polly, you know, no escapes or anything. They always focus out the support, and that always happens. That, you know, unless you're just completely stomping on kids, the support always ends up with a negative KD. In a fairly even game, the support ends up getting, you know, a negative KD. And that's just how it is. So, you know, we don't really consider him feeding. But we consider it as him taking the
Okay, this is a good point. You can say feeding like this. Okay, I hope you just realized that I didn't really meant that serious, okay?
No, we'll take it seriously. I mean, I quite enjoyed that.
These guys are just so mean to me all the time.
There's a reason why we call him Death Row Fail.
Oh my god.
Oh. No, he's sad. But it's okay, he's a girl, so he should just be sad and make us all a sandwich. It's okay.
Oh my god. Oh my
Now,
god.
we wouldn't be able to do what we do without having a good support. And honestly, Avek and I played together 2v2s for the longest time, and we could never find another good player to play with us. And we could never find a good support player. And then we found Death, and we started doing real good. We started playing really good 3v3s because he just plays really good support. And
Yeah, well,
so
that
we have
makes
a
sense.
rule: he always plays support. Because that's our best team synergy. Is when he
there's
plays
always
support.
a time where the supporters start going onslaught with the Demented Shaman. For some reason nobody knows, and having 450 GPM. But I don't have to mention that, I guess you all are aware of that fact. Anyway, a question I have is basically, how did you found each other? Now, you're a team, you said you found them, but how did you found Avec, basically?
Oh god.
Black and I played Counter-Strike together.
Oh, okay. So here's the story for Avek and I played Counter-Strike together for a few years ago, right? So like 3 years ago now we were playing games together. Anyway, so yeah, I got into Han, played a little bit, and then got him into Han, and then we were 2v2ing, and Death came along, and he bought Striders on Myrmidon in a 2v2 match, and we just trolled him for it. And come a few months later, we happened to run back into him, and he went from a 1400 to a 1600er. And he remembered us, and we sort of remembered him. So then, and he was a pretty cool guy, so we ended up talking to him a little bit, and then we just hit it off from there. So we just happened to run into each other.
That's basically how every team was created, minus MSI, because MSI is a different story. Anyway, you basically trolled the noob came back, and then it's a team. Here we go. This is how you create a team in News of Newerth. You troll noobs.
Whoa.
Hey, wait! I'm not offending you. They said you were 1,400 pre-tweak.
Don't listen to him. Oh my god.
I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'm just joking. Really, I'm just joking because I have been there as well. I mean, I was 1,100 as well, so everybody has been there. I mean, nobody starts with being a master, doesn't they?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, that's how all good 5v5 teams are created. Basically, they troll each other and scream at each other at somebody they still like each other, and now they have a team, and then they are professional. Holy shit. And MSI is a bit different story because they love each other and listen to My Little Ponies together, and we don't gonna talk about that, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, are there anything you really want to say about 3v3, 5v5, or about yourself, or whatever? Then we can do this now, I guess. We're talking about an hour now, so.
Anyone want to say something?
I missed that.
Good.
I laughed too hard.
All I gotta say is don't listen to their stories. None of those true.
Yeah, none of those are true. Then wait. This is then I have a question to you. If none of those stories are true, then tell me the real one. Oh, this is a good
I
story.
wasn't 1400.
I'm pretty sure you were.
Hey,
He was buying Strider on
calm,
the
sorry.
Yeah,
Didn't
stop,
mention you,
Will.
but you wasn't 1400. Okay. But why Striders on Mimidon? Why is that bad? You know, while 2 vs 2 it maybe is. Well,
Striders are garbage in that map period. No, you pretty much never want to go Strider.
In my opinion, Strider's good on certain heroes, and depending on what build you go with Myrmidon, you could go Steam Boots or Ghost Marchers instead and just like stomp face with his ultimate. So, like seriously, compared to Striders at least.
Yeah, Steam Boots are definitely the way to go because it'll be tankier.
The tankier, increased attack speed, constant magic damage when you're ult.
And the problem is too is with Striders, they're only good when you're not in battle. Now you need the run speed in battle in that map since you're constantly in battle so much more than in the 5v5 map. You know, in the 5v5 map you got a lot longer to run while you're not fighting than in the 3v3 map. You know, so it's not really that beneficial to get Striders in the 3v3 map because you don't have to cover all the ground you have to cover in the 5v5 map. And like I said, you're constantly in battle way more, so you're not going
And
to
what
have your
about
stragglers on nearly as
post-haste?
much.
Okay, they are so expensive. I guess that's the kind of thing why they are excluded in this list.
Yeah, it never happens. I mean, you
Late
just
game.
never
If it
get
gets
there.
late game, I get them.
Yeah,
But
super
only
late
if it
game.
gets late game. But it's pretty much impossible for it to get late game on Grims.
Yeah, well,
So.
And it's just too hard to
Oh,
farm
by the
that
way,
money.
by the way, how about the
For one
Valor? What's
item,
the Valor faults here in 3v3? Is he just a stomp hero, or can he be very synergized?
It's
depends on the person and their skill.
situational. Really.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you have to have good team coordination to stop him for sure. But
Yeah.
and he is a really top tier pick for sure. But yeah, if you have good team coordination, you can definitely shut him down.
But if he gets like a good early lead, it's really hard to
Yeah,
stop
his
because of
snowball
counter
effect is ridiculous
Yep, that's
with
for
that
sure.
cadaver armor.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we lost some really
Yeah,
annoying
well,
games to
You're
devour.
mine!
Yeah.
So I guess that was kinda it, because I don't really know what I could really ask otherwise, because that's it, I guess. Thanks for the interview, and I have no idea how late is it at your country, but have a good night, I'm pretty sure. You're in US West tournament, so it's
You too.
40
It's 8 in the morning
2
for
p.m.
me.
now, and I
Yes.
stood up at 5 a.m. just for this shit here, after a birthday party, so I gone sleep again, so 5
Yep.
a.m. Oh, it's time to sleep
5
because
a.m.
that's
for
the
me.
time where I waked up. And I'm German, and you are American, obviously, or whatever you are. Like American, like the whole country, not like the whole continent, not just America. The people's always mistaken that and are really
Yeah.
angry at me, but I mean America, like the content, complete America, not just the USA. Okay, some
America.
people are
Well,
mad at me
we're
because
all-
they
we're all
mistake it
from
for some
USA,
apparent reason I don't even
so.
understand.
Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Thanks for the interview, and remember to not pass Sopa, otherwise I will be very mad. It's done?
It's
Oh.
done. It's done. It got voted down. Yep. There was enough
Yes!
protests that it got voted out. It's not going to happen anymore. But they're working on it. They're working on a different thing now. But
Yeah,
So it
that
is,
tracks your
after all,
IP,
another
like
Sopa.
pretty much wherever you go on the internet.
yeah, the SOPA and PIPA bills are done completely.
Because
surprised you
look,
actually even know anything about
it's
that.
not funny
That's
because
funny.
once the American took the right to shut down the internet or at least make it down for the whole world because it stands in your country, the whole world would become mad, and we all know about the Sopa bill. We all know what happened. I already said goodbye to my friends I have in all over the country, in Russia for example, because we all know one thing: lots of online games will go down due to this, since Sopa will just randomly block this. I said goodbye to YouTube friends, which I will never rate against because they just not in my country, so I can't write to them. It will have so big impact on the whole world. You don't believe this. There's thousands of videos explaining you why SOPA shouldn't pass and why the Americans shouldn't have the right to pass it. And it's totally wrong. I mean, you can't shut. I mean,
Oh,
we make.
yeah.
I mean, imagine it. You know the band Rammstein from Germany? Everybody knows that band for some reason. They live in America, and this is why you wouldn't be able to listen to them in
Yes.
Germany
Yes.
anymore. On YouTube, like, for example. Get the idea? That's total bullshit because it's a German band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I completely agree. It would have affected worldwide, and it's completely. I mean, against our constitution, it's completely unconstitutional, and they're just. I don't know. They're stripping our rights
Yeah, well,
away. America's going
at
to
least
shit.
some
It's
people who
unfortunate.
actually can live with that, because there are a lot of American people I know. Once I tell them America's total shit, they believe me. They will come to Germany to fuck me up, really, because they think, oh, I'm the best and you are nothing. But well, okay. Then I guess I say goodbye for now. Just gonna put you on the friend list for. I was gonna put Dev on the friend list for just some apparent for every case you need me. Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
could
gonna ask you
add
as well.
cool.
At you as well. Block. For the cases that you have something or you want something from me or want me to ask something, you never know. Maybe, or I can tell you about an attorney or something. We will never know. So, see. Yeah, maybe if I stay online
Yeah,
tonight,
we'll
not
probably be seeing
because
you again.
tomorrow I have school, but I mean in general on weekends I'm pretty on lately. So, see you later, I guess, and good night to all you. Bye bye.
Later, man.
See you later.
Wait a minute.